The bold and the beautiful, Thomas returns with a vengeance, hope in the crossfire, and a secret that could destroy everything *** this week on The Bold and the Beautiful. The game changes again. Thomas Forrester is back in Los Angeles, and while his words say redemption, his moves scream strategy. Viewers have watched Thomas promise change before, but this time, he's playing on another level. The stakes are higher, the manipulation more subtle, and his sights are locked on Hope Logan. But Thomas isn't acting alone. There's someone else in the shadows, Daphne, a wild card ally with her own motivations and a dangerous secret that threatens to burn them both. Thomas Forrester's return begins like a carefully written scene. He stands before his family, calm, collected, eyes clear, voice steady. "I've changed," he says. He speaks about time away, self-reflection, emotional growth. He thanks his family for their patience, promises he's ready to rebuild trust, and even offers to step back from the spotlight if that's what it takes to move forward. It's the right performance at the right moment. Brooke looks skeptical. Ridge wants to believe him. Hope doesn't know what to think. Because no matter how many times Thomas says he's changed, Hope knows what he's capable of. She's lived through the obsession, the manipulation, the twisted plans dressed as romance. But this time, Thomas isn't chasing her with grand gestures. He's not pushing. He's not pressuring. He's doing something far more dangerous. He's letting her come to him. Behind the scenes, Thomas is already in motion. He's not just back for redemption. He's back for hope. But there's an obstacle, Carter Walton. In Thomas's absence, Carter has grown closer to Hope. Their connection is real, though still new. But Thomas sees it for what it is, a threat. Hope finally has a chance at something simple, stable, and sane, and Thomas cannot let that happen. Not when he still believes they're meant to be. Not when the spark between them still flickers beneath every word, every glance. Enter Daphne, enigmatic, poised, and razor-sharp. She's not a long-lost relative or a recycled flame. She's a new player with deep ties to the fashion world and a willingness to break the rules if the reward is worth it. Her alliance with Thomas is quiet, calculated, and built on mutual ambition. She helps Thomas build the illusion of a clean return while helping orchestrate the real agenda, pull Hope away from Carter and back into Thomas's gravitational pull. And she has just the plan to do it. Step 1. A new fashion campaign. Bold. Romantic. Visionary. Thomas sells it to Ridge and the board as a chance to revitalize Forrester's image and prove he's committed to the company, not just himself. But the real purpose is much simpler. It forces Hope to work with him. Side by side. Day after day. Creative collaboration. Photo shoots. Press conferences. Travel. All under the guise of professional growth, but every step designed to reignite the connection Thomas refuses to let die. Hope resists at first. She has reservations. She knows history. But the campaign is too important. The board wants it. Ridge signs off. Even Brooke agrees it could help stabilize the company after the recent scandals. So Hope agrees, with conditions. Boundaries. Clarity. But as the campaign launches, those lines begin to blur. It starts small. A shared laugh. A moment of nostalgia. A creative breakthrough that reminds Hope why she once trusted Thomas, why they once made magic together, on the runway and off. Carter notices. He voices his concern, but Hope brushes it off. It's just work, she says. But even she's not sure anymore. Because the spark is still there. Maybe buried. Maybe unwelcome. But very, very real. And Thomas knows it. He doesn't push. He doesn't need to. He lets the campaign do the work. He lets the memories resurface. He lets Daphne orchestrate the rest, whispers about Carter's past, subtle scheduling conflicts that keep Carter and Hope apart, carefully timed moments where Thomas is always just there when Hope needs support. Slowly, the space between Hope and Carter grows. And into that space, Thomas steps. But while Thomas is focused on hope, Daphne is focused on something else, a secret. Something tied to the recent chaos at Forrester. Something about Luna Nozawa's mysterious disappearance. Officially, Luna vanished and returned under vague circumstances. No one has answers. No one talks about it. But Daphne knows the truth. Or at least part of it. Enough to make people nervous. Enough to control narratives. Enough to protect Thomas or destroy him, if necessary. Because Daphne wasn't just helping Thomas out of loyalty or friendship. She has leverage. And now she has power. The secret she's holding could ruin careers. It ties Thomas to the night Luna vanished not directly, but close enough to spark suspicion. If it ever gets out, it could wreck the fragile redemption arc Thomas is building, destroy the campaign, and push hope permanently away. Daphne knows this. And Thomas knows Daphne. Their alliance is built on shared ambition, but it's a fragile dance. One misstep, and everything collapses. And as Thomas gets closer to hope, Daphne begins to wonder, how far will he go? How much of their plan is about strategy, and how much is about obsession? She sees the look in his eyes when he watches Hope. She hears the tone in his voice when he talks about destiny. She knows the danger of that kind of love. And so, she hedges her bets. Keeps the secret close. Hints at it when needed. Uses it to remind Thomas that their partnership is a two-way street. But she also starts laying her own groundwork. Conversations with Ridge. Friendly moments with Brooke. Subtle moves that build her position, just in case Thomas's plan implodes. Because Daphne isn't loyal to Thomas. She's loyal to herself. As the campaign gains traction, public attention builds. Hope and Thomas are suddenly everywhere, in interviews, on magazine covers, splashed across social media. Fans call it a reunion. Carter calls it a red flag. Brooke starts asking questions. Ridge defends his son. The Forrester family fractures again under the weight of history repeating itself. Then comes the tipping point. A gala. The campaign's official launch. Media. Celebrities. Clients. The entire fashion world watching. Hope and Thomas take the stage together. Cameras flash. Applause echoes. And in that moment, the chemistry is undeniable. Even Hope feels it. And Carter sees it. After the event, Carter confronts her. "Is this what you want?" he asks. "Because if it is, I won't stand in your way." Hope doesn't answer. Not because she doesn't know, but because she doesn't want to know. Thomas watches from a distance. Smiling. He thinks he's won. But Daphne's watching too. And she's not smiling. Because the secret is starting to weigh. The truth about Luna. The piece of the puzzle that no one sees coming. The one that could unravel the whole game. Daphne holds it like a loaded gun, and every day, it becomes harder not to pull the trigger. Especially when she realizes something chilling. Thomas hasn't changed. Not really. He's just learned how to hide it better. And if he ever turns that darkness on her, she'll be ready. Because secrets only have power if they stay buried. And this one is about to surface. Stay tuned. The spark is back. The stakes are higher. And the danger is real. Asterisk, asterisk. The bold and the beautiful, the rise of Electra Forrester, and the pressure of filling Steffi's throne. Asterisk, asterisk. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, the spotlight is shifting. With Steffi Forrester officially off-screen, the power vacuum left in her absence is impossible to ignore. And CBS writers are making one thing clear. Electra Forrester is being groomed to rise. Whether she can fill the stiletto heels Steffi left behind is the question burning in every viewer's mind. But one thing is certain. The drama surrounding Electra and Will Spencer Jr. is about to ignite into something far bigger than a love story. It's the beginning of a battle for dominance at Forrester Creations, and Electra is at the center of it all. Let's address the elephant in the room. Steffi is gone. When Jacqueline McInnes took her maternity leave earlier this month, The Bold and the Beautiful lost more than just a character. It lost its anchor. Steffi has been the pulse of the show for years, an untouchable figure with a magnetic screen presence and deeply rooted family power. Her departure leaves a gaping hole in the show's emotional, romantic, and corporate narrative, a vacuum CBS cannot afford to leave empty. Which brings us to Electra. Electra Forrester, played by Linnea Grace, entered the canvas with a striking resemblance to Steffi, a similarity that fans immediately picked up on. The hair, the cheekbones, the Forrester fire, it's all there. But looking the part is one thing. Becoming Steffi's successor is another. That means stepping into a role that balances beauty and brilliance, seduction and strategy, vulnerability and viciousness. That means becoming the new queen, not just of Forrester Creations, but of the bold and the beautiful itself. It's a challenge few characters have faced, and none have survived. Until now, perhaps. The writers are clearly putting Electra to the test. Her romance with Will Spencer Jr. is heating up fast. The once boyish heir to the Spencer empire is suddenly front and center, his storyline accelerated by passion, jealousy, and an unmistakable desire to define himself outside of his powerful family's shadow. Will and Electra are no longer a quiet couple in the background. They're the couple, the romantic core now driving much of the current storyline, and with that comes pressure, exposure, and, inevitably, sabotage. Electra isn't just Will's girlfriend. She's a Forrester by blood, and that bloodline comes with baggage. Expectations. Enemies. Steffi wasn't just a fashion executive, she was a battlefield general. She played love like chess and corporate politics like war. If Electra is going to rise, she can't just model the clothes. She has to make the decisions, pull the strings, command the boardroom. And that's where the next phase of Electra's evolution is unfolding her career. Recent spoilers confirm that Electra's role at Forrester Creations is rapidly expanding. She's not just showing up to fittings and flirting with Will. She's being handed real responsibility. Design meetings, media interviews, creative input on upcoming lines. She's being pulled into the high-stakes world that Steffi once ruled, and the comparisons are inevitable. Fans are watching her every move. Investors on the show are questioning her influence. Colleagues are whispering. The tension is mounting. But perhaps the most dangerous piece of this new puzzle is Luna Nozoa. The rivalry is brewing. It's quiet for now, but the signs are there. Luna is watching Electra climb, and she doesn't like it. Whether it's jealousy, ambition, or something darker, there's friction building between them, and it's only a matter of time before it explodes. The preview clips tease a confrontation coming soon, and if it's anything like the classic Steffi, hope battles of old, viewers are in for fireworks. The stakes are personal. Luna has her own complicated history with the Forresters, and with Electra becoming the new darling of the brand, both in love and in business, Luna could be pushed to reclaim the spotlight by any means necessary. A love triangle could emerge. A fashion sabotage scandal could erupt. Maybe even a public showdown at a runway event. The seeds are planted. All that's left is for someone to strike first. As for Will, he's clearly in over his head. For all his charm and Spencer bravado, he's still new to the high-pressure world of public romance and family feuds. Electra's rise may feel thrilling now, but the pressure will mount, especially if her success starts overshadowing his own. He loves her, that much is clear. But love on the bold and the beautiful doesn't last without power, and Will is about to learn that when you date a Forrester, you're never just her boyfriend, you're a pawn or a partner. And in Electra's case, she might not even know which role he'll play yet. And that leads us back to the core question. Can Electra truly replace Steffi? The show is making a bold gamble. Jacqueline McInnes Wood's absence has created a narrative vacuum, and Linnea Grace is being thrust into a spotlight brighter than anything she's faced before. Her scenes are becoming more intense, her screen time more frequent, her character more layered. The makeup team has leaned into her resemblance to Steffi. The dialogue is sharper. Her wardrobe more assertive. It's all deliberate. The writers are saying, watch her. She matters. But fans are split. Some praise Grace's performance, saying Electra brings a fresh energy that the show desperately needs. Others argue that no one can replace Steffi, that her history, her emotional gravity, and her complex relationships can't be replicated. And they're right in part. Electra isn't Steffi. She shouldn't try to be. Her success will come not from imitation, but from evolution. That's what makes this storyline so compelling. It's not just about who Electra is, it's about who she's becoming. Every scene with Will, every confrontation with Luna, every move she makes inside Forrester is a test. Is she a placeholder or a power player? A temporary fix or a permanent queen? For now, the verdict isn't clear. But one thing is undeniable. The Bold and the Beautiful is building something big around Electra Forrester. And as this week's episodes unfold, fans will see the next chapter begin, a chapter filled with ambition, betrayal, and the slow, relentless climb of a woman who may just become the next face of the Forrester dynasty. So farewell for now, Steffi. Your throne may not stay empty for long. Electra is rising. The game has changed. And the war for Forrester has a brand new queen in waiting. The Bold and the Beautiful, Will's breakdown, Luna's trap, and Bill Spencer's ruthless hunt for justice ***. The aftermath of the party isn't just scandalous, it's a turning point. On this week's The Bold and the Beautiful, the Spencer dynasty is thrown into chaos as Will Spencer Jr., once the golden boy of the elite, spirals into a storm of erratic behavior and disturbing revelations. What begins as confusion over a wild night out becomes a full-blown family emergency. And at the center of it all stands Luna Nozowa, beautiful, cunning, and far more dangerous than anyone ever realized. The night in question was supposed to be unforgettable, and it was, just not for the reasons Will imagined. It began with lights, music, glamour, and Electra Forrester on his arm. The power couple had arrived. The champagne flowed. The cameras flashed. But somewhere between the glitter and the velvet ropes, something went very wrong. And Will hasn't been the same since. The morning after, Will wakes up disoriented, paranoid, out of sync with reality. At first, it seems like a hangover. But then come the gaps in memory. The mood swings. The flashbacks. Confusion turns to fear. His hands shake. His thoughts race. His emotions flare and vanish without warning. He can't focus. He can't sleep. Electra notices. His staff notices. Even Ridge Forrester notices. But no one understands what's happening, not even Will himself. Until the symptoms get worse. He lashes out during a meeting. He stumbles through a public appearance. He accuses his assistant of betrayal, then forgets the conversation minutes later. In private, he becomes paranoid and withdrawn. In public, he's explosive. The media catches wind of it. Rumors swirl, drugs, breakdown, scandal. The Spencer name starts trending for all the wrong reasons. And then comes the evidence. A preliminary tox report, pushed for by a worried Electra, reveals traces of a non-recreational synthetic stimulant in Will's system. Not alcohol. Not anything he willingly consumed. Something that shouldn't have been there. Something dangerous. And suddenly, the entire narrative changes. This wasn't a meltdown. This wasn't just stress. Will Spencer was drugged, and someone did it to him. Enter Bill Spencer in full-blown father-on-fire mode. He doesn't care about public image. He doesn't care about press. He cares about one thing: someone targeted his son. And now someone is going to pay. Bill shifts into overdrive. He starts with the guest list. Then the event staff. Security footage. Drink logs. He calls in private investigators. He retraces every second of that night. And every lead points back to one name, Luna Nozowa. At first, it seems impossible. Luna's just a model. A rising name in fashion. But the more Bill digs, the darker it gets. Luna had access to the drinks. Luna wasn't on the staff list. Luna used a disguise to get into the party. Luna was near Will when he began to spiral. And Luna disappeared for hours that same night, vanishing from the venue, evading cameras and resurfacing only when it was convenient. It's more than suspicious. It's surgical. And when Bill finally gets a hold of the bartender who worked that night, the same bartender who had warned about a bottle of non-vodka liquor that looked too much like the real thing, the final piece clicks. Luna wasn't there to party. She was there to set a trap. Bill confronts Will, trying to fill in the blanks. "What do you remember?" he demands. Will tries to speak, but can't. He remembers flashes, a kiss, a hallway, Luna's perfume. Then nothing. Just confusion. Panic. A sense of regret so deep, it hurts to breathe. And that's when Bill realizes, Luna didn't just drug Will. She pushed him to do something he can't undo. Asterisk, asterisk, the implications are staggering. Did she manipulate him into sleeping with her? Did she make him think she was Electra? Did she stage a moment that would detonate his life, his relationship, his reputation? Bill doesn't wait for answers. He goes on the offensive. He digs into Luna's background, her finances, her recent communications. And that's when he finds the connection no one saw coming, a financial tie between Luna and a foreign consulting firm tied to one of Spencer Publications' oldest rivals. On paper, it looks like a sponsorship. In reality, it's a front. The money flows in circles. But at the core is a corporate enemy Bill's battled before. This wasn't just personal. It was strategic. Asterisk, asterisk, someone used Luna to go after Spencer from the inside. Someone weaponized Will's trust and turned him into a liability. It wasn't about Luna wanting revenge or seduction. It was about sabotage. And that makes this a war. Bill doesn't hesitate. He sends legal threats. He locks down Will's schedule. He hires cybersecurity experts to sweep every device. He calls in favors from allies at the Justice Department. And most of all, he puts Luna on notice. "You messed with the wrong family," he tells her through his lawyers. "And now I'm coming for yours." But Luna doesn't flinch. She plays innocent. She denies everything. She has no memory of spiking any drink. She says Will came to her. She says she tried to help him. But her performance is too perfect. And Bill isn't buying it. Back at Spencer headquarters, damage control is in full swing. Electra stands by Will for now. But the pressure is intense. The press won't drop the story. Rivals are circling. Contracts are under review. Even Katie and Wyatt start asking tough questions. Can Will handle leadership? Was he set up? Or is he hiding something? Meanwhile, Luna stays close to Forrester, where whispers grow louder. Did she act alone? Did someone inside Forrester know?